Good evening, friends. A warm welcome to all the members of the trade. Everyone for joining us today. Hope that you all are safe and healthy and wish you a great day. At first, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself as Arvind Goenka, Vice Chairman of the Plastics Export Promotion Council, commonly known as Plex Council, constituted under the Department of Commerce, Government of India. Friends, briefly, I may inform you that the global exports of plastics is worth $1 trillion, and India's shares of plastics is only 10 billion US dollars, which is 1% of the entire global demand. In comparison, plastic export from China is approximately $70 billion, which is 7 times more than India. It proves the immense opportunity India has in the coming days, and I thank you for joining us for today's webinar on District Export Plan, Importance and Way Forward. The objective of this webinar is to understand the important process, role of industry, and way forward for district export, which will help us grow exports multifolds and exploit the opportunity available for Indian goods in the world markets. Friends, as per our understanding, the district export plan will include the support required by the local industry in boosting their manufacturing and exports, with focus on supporting the industry from the production stage to the exporting stage. We understand that this is the role of the regional DGFT will become more important as they will be monitoring and supporting exports from their region on a very regular basis. Even today, functioning of the office of the regional DGFTs are based on a time-based system wherein a decision is taken within a specified time on all advance authorization and other related matters. But many a times the exporter faces delay. One of the main reasons of delay could be omissions or ignorance in providing required information by the exporter to the office of DGFT, due to which the application gets delayed. And it will be our request to our Honorable Speaker Shri Ajay Kumar Chaudhary ji to provide guidance and hand-holding to our fellow exporters so that such delays can be avoided, and it will greatly benefit exports and India's export growth. Plex Council is ready to take part in this initiative with enthusiastic cooperation and support required by DGFT as and when in this endeavor. We are pleased to welcome our Speaker of the Day, Shri Anil Kumar Chaudhary, ITS Additional DGFT, RA Ahmedabad. Shri A.K. Chaudhary, ITS, belongs to the Indian Trade Service 1986 batch. He is a postgraduate in social science from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. He is also a law graduate from Delhi University. He has worked in various ministries and departments of Government of India and has a rich exposure in the field of trade and commerce. He possesses expert and acclaimed knowledge in the field of infrastructure development and policy formulation, mainly public policy. He has been involved in formulating and implementing central sector schemes of Government of India. Due to his competence and experience in the field of e-governance, he has been sent by the government to Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs, Syracuse University, New York, USA, a premier institute, to complete his advanced studies in public administration. He has also been sent by the Government of India on an assignment for training in the field of information technology in public administration under the e-government leadership program from National University of Singapore. Presently, he is posted as Development Commissioner in Gujarat, looking after development of the Dahej Special Economic Zone and having the charge of Sterling SEZ and Office of Additional DGFT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. We also welcome Mr. Rohit Soni, Deputy DGFT, Ms. Maitri Naidu, Assistant DGFT, and colleagues from the DGFT office for joining us today for this webinar. Now I request our friend Sri Shyam Tibrewalji of Mayur Wovens, Ahmedabad, who is one of India's leading exporter of woven sacks and is based in your city, Ahmedabad, to introduce the council and appraise us all about today's webinar. Thank you very much. Thank you. Over to you, Shyamji. Tibrewalji?
He is on mute. Shyamji, you are on mute.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, good afternoon. Good evening. Sir, actually अरविंद जी ने मोस्टली तो अब सब है, मैं आपको खबर पूरे गुजरात वासी खबर शेयर करना चाहूंगा। कि अपने वेस्टर्न रीजन में कुछ भी काम के लिए फ्लेक्स काउंसिल बॉम्बे जाना पड़ता था, लेकिन इस बार वेस्टर्न रीजन में हमें अहमदाबाद में फ्लेक्स काउंसिल ने अपना सेंटर दिया। कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री के आभारी हैं, हमारे जेएस सर सुरेश कुमार जी के, डीवाई सेक्रेटरी श्री सुनील रंजन जी के, फ्लेक्स काउंसिल के सभी सीईओ मेंबर्स के, हमारी काउंसिल के लोक लाडले चेयरमैन श्री रवि कामत जी, वाइस चेयरमैन श्री अरविंद जी गोयनका, फ्लेक्स काउंसिल जी, सबने सर्वसम्मति से अहमदाबाद को फ्लेक्स काउंसिल में वेस्टर्न रीजन में अहमदाबाद ऑफिस खोलने की अनुमति दी। इससे एक्सपो, लेकिन वो हमारे और गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स के बीच में कोऑर्डिनेशन का काम भी अच्छी तरह करेंगे। और अपन, मेरा तो ये कहना है कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो सपना देखा है, जो विजन दिया है कि हमारे देश का हर के रूप में विकसित हो, आज की वेबिनार का सब्जेक्ट भी हमने डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक्सपोर्ट प्लान, इट्स इंपॉर्टेंस फॉरवर्ड, ये रखा है। मैं ज्यादा समय ले लेते हुए श्री चौधरी साहब से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आज की वेबिनार में कुछ प्रकाश डालें इसके कि खुशियों के लिए क्यों किसी का इंतजार, खुशियों के लिए क्यों किसी का इंतजार, हम ही तो हैं अपने देश के शिल्पकार। चलो आज सब मिलकर मुश्किलों को हराते हैं और हमारे बनाते हैं।
Thank you, Mr. Arvind, Mr. Tibribal, and rest of our organizer. Let me, utmost thank all of you to organize such seminar and giving me a chance to share my idea and listen to you also during the post-COVID time and the COVID time. How we all of us perform and the issues basically how basically go forward. Today's discussion, since we're on the district plan, that is one of the area where we are working for the last, I say, the last 1 year. ये हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का विजन था, and in the 15th time in August, basically Rampage से जब उन्होंने speech में, so he been very, clear about that. If the country has to grow, every district has to have export for a practical purpose as such. That was mine. That, and then I started sharing with the ministry and the PMO, and then we reflected down further as such. And since the Ministry of Commerce, we are basically the coordinating and administrating, the ministry. So then it started, flowing in. And I must share with you, I'm in Gujarat for the last 2 years, roughly in Gujarat. So I joined as a development commissioner in study, and further I'll be in charge of the gift. That's the only IFC center in the country as such, which looks after the financial aspect of a country. And then the additional charge, I have additional DGFT what I have as such. So I'm virtually aware about how Gujarat is performing, how it is doing. The issues being faced by the exporters from this space as such, the manufacturer of this space as such. Keeping in mind that as such, first of all, I'll thank all the Gujarat-based manufacturer exporter as such. You must be aware that you bagged the #1 position in terms of exports last year, and to the roughly 68,000 crores you did the export from here. Of the multifarious product, starting from the pharma, agriculture, petrochemical, engineering, plastic, all kind of stuff, textile. So it's a whole horizon of stuff as such. So when the question came about the planning a district export plan for this state, so we had a lot of difficulty to which district to pick up or which district not. And then we basically led down to issue that we'll have to pick up all districts around, because most of our districts in Gujarat are having something or the other as a competence, as a potential, which can need to be strengthened better as such, to convert it in terms of delegation and in terms of, the product which can be manufactured, exported. So as I said, since it's one of our flagship scheme of the ministry, and in all DGFT RDs in the entire country is working on that. And since I'm a coordinator for Gujarat also for the entire state as such, and different RDs also coordinating with the RD Ahmedabad, and we have started making the district export plan also, and we have made some roughly 7-8 district export plan we have made in consultation with the DIC and district administration and the state government support. But we do, face little bit a problem in terms of, the readily available data with the district rather as such. Just to share with you, because most of the people who are residing, based from Gujarat or the other parts of India, the database what the government collects is basically for the state and for the country. The district-wide data sometimes we don't have. And what the DIC basically compiles the data, or the MSME compiles the data, sometimes it's not the complete data. But however, this may be an impediment for some time, but it will not be a big hurdle while I'm in the formulating district export plan as such. In this regard, that the Niryat Bandhu scheme, which is basically been done for quite long time, and the hand holding was basically one of a composite area that we need to handhold all the entrepreneurs as such, whosoever wants to do the exports. Firstly, we try to see to resolve the issue across the board. And I must share with during the COVID time also and post-COVID time also, when the physical distancing was used, but the IT platform used in the big way to see to that nobody suffers, either in terms of, passing the script to them or to deliberate the goods to them as such. And slowly they, the community or the other counterpart also they got used to. And it is good one way in a sense that the new era is evolving, where even having a social distancing, how the IT platform has been used and how is beneficial to the other counterpart also, both ways as such. So in terms of, if you look into the manufacturing sector, which has certainly is a big dip to the extent of 40 to 50% the first quarter. But however, it is reviving slowly. As we are basically been compositing the database for the district export plan, and all the districts have basically been mapped accordingly. Whatever the best potential product of the district, that we will certainly to flag it up, and the stakeholder pertaining to those products as such also been involved. Like for the wherever the Excel product is, capital we get involved, or the state, the agri, the division is involved. So what support will be available. Then the council's role is also very important. Like for your council, since you have expertise in the millennium aspect as such. So wherever these kind of strength of a district is having, that you will also be one of a stakeholder to support them. Apart from the council, both DIC, then financial institution, the government of India, the state governments, so we all become a stakeholder when formulating the district export plan. And the role of every entity is very important, like the technical support, the capacity building program, apart from the actual day-to-day understanding of issues, which is important that at that end. The major, because I just want to say that what the major problem we are finding, when we basically go to the local district people as such, sometimes they are having sufficient competence in manufacturing, but they don't know how to best to market the product, where to market the product, how to arrange the finances around. So the hand holding are not only ours will be helpful them, hand holding so the big exporters is also important. Hand holding of the council is also important over their assets. So it's basically have to be a very concerted effort while making this issue. And since some of our draft export plan we have already been made ready and send it to the ministry also, and we're passing it to the district export plan committee also. So you'll also be able to see after some time what we have made. But at the same time, I'll ask my officer who will be basically making a detailed presentation in this regard. So what they are doing, how they are doing, what are the constraints and limitations they have while making assets. So certainly like to have your views also on that. So if something could be better built in, because if the data portion is not available, so that projections and targets keeping in mind, which may not be very feasible as such. But you're taking a lesson and cue from the other countries, especially from the China. They have started this, conversion roughly 30 years back, roughly in 2080, 82, they were started. And with that in mind, they developed a this manufacturing hub. They become the biggest exporter of the world. So everybody has a hugely dependent on them. But one thing is good after the COVID times as such, that China is not going to be a center stage anymore. That is very clear. As you know, how the entire world trade environment is becoming, the anti-Chinese for a variety of reasons. And they must have realized the localization of industry at a place. So it makes a huge monopoly. And the kind of reason where the other stakeholder doesn't much contribute about that aspect. And presently, if you look into the Chinese, the China's manufacturing hub, the investment from Japan and Korea, they're quite keen to uproot their investment from there and move to the third countries. And where we have a huge scope, I understand you people also must be talking about this issue that large. And there are a number of members and the number of manufacturing units as such who are in these products as such. They can certainly interact with the embassy, our embassies in those countries. And the Korean and Japanese investment, they are keen to bring it down. But they have again the limited options around where they can go and they approve from China. They have an understanding, they go to Vietnam, they go to Indonesia, they go to Malaysia, they go to Thailand, they go to India. So they also look for the best environment, economic environment and facilitations available around. And I think in the recent times, we have become a big facilitator, the friendly facilitator for such kind of investments to the foreign investment. And so your role now is quite important to see how best to tap this investment and bring into our country. So the district export plan has been routing to the different maps of the entire India. So that can be properly groomed, and the rest thing will be available at our end. The state government will certainly take care of. We central government will take care as such. As regard the issue somebody was raising about our hand holding to the exporters and manufacturers in the state of Gujarat, I'm share with you. And across the board, I'm telling us, anybody has any issue, either regards, it's not I don't take as a complaint. It happens sometimes. Sometimes you delay for some reasons, or sometimes because they don't give the documents on time, it's get delayed. So if anybody has any issue at any time, they can approach this office telephonically, through the mail. Of a physical meeting, they should also avoid. We should also avoid this at this time. But if it's required, that is also, we've been entertaining them as such, and we'll try our level best to support them, assist them, and see to that the things moves. So keeping in mind, I'll not take much of our time because since my officer will be giving the detailed presentation, district export plan, and that will be very minute details you'll have. So look forward to your comment and your reaction also on that, so that you can supplement in something we're missing it. So thank you very much, all of you, and wish you all the best. Let's see how best you're able to move in this direction. Thank you.
Dear participant, if you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your chat box. I'm sure our speaker will be happy to answer them post his presentation. Please.
Thank you, Chaudhary sir, for detailed information which you have given. And from the Plex Council side, we can assure you that whatever data is required as regards foreign markets, as regards marketing support for the units which are based in small districts who are not aware about the foreign markets, that will be provided. And sir, banks are also very proactive nowadays in providing finances, and council has been doing webinars where bankers have also been invited. So we can take this also to the district level, and we can ensure that these issues are taken care of, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Let's hear from your department about the district plan, sir. Thank you.
What did I do here? अभी जरा ये देखना था।
Good evening. I hope I'm audible to all.
Audible. Thank you.
So I'll start with the presentation. Now, the theme here is district as export hubs. As you all know, the vision came about when the Honorable Prime Minister spoke about it during his Independence Day speech. He said a few words. He said, "Country has a special." Vision a reality. Now, obviously, last few months it has become even more critical as the economy has slowed down. Thankfully, the exports have not slowed down to the extent which it was feared. But even then, it is high time that the vision is implemented so that we move forward in a more positive way rather than still trying to firefight and deal with the negative consequences of what has happened. So what is the plan of action? How do we implement this vision and convert it into reality? The basic tool for the District Export Hub program is the creation of district export plans and district export promotion committees. Now, the objective of the District Export Promotion Committee is to bring into a single platform all the different agencies, all the different stakeholders who are involved in this process so that an open dialogue can happen, so that issues do not get stuck, so that red tape is reduced. There is clear communication and a synergy of ideas is created. Now, these ideas are put together into the district export plans, which basically will act as a guideline for us around which we can act in the next few years to create a district export hub. The vision is to select either one or a few couple of products per district and to promote those products and to promote the district around that product. So the cluster will be created and it will be through these clusters that the district export promotion will happen. Now, there is also the proposal for creation of an online monitoring system through which the Ministry of Commerce as well as the Prime Minister's office will be able to directly monitor what the progress has been around these. Now, for Gujarat, I have the various districts and the products identified. I was told I should mention the plastics specially. So we have two districts, which is Ahmedabad and Panchmahal. So their plastics have been selected. But even though it is specifically mentioned only for these two districts, the creation of an ecosystem, the creation of an infrastructure which will happen in one district will certainly benefit the districts surrounding them as well. So even if you believe that you are not located in this particular district, so it might not be beneficial to you, I assure you that the benefits will spread from these districts. So the district export promotion committees have been notified by the government of Gujarat across the state. So for all the districts, they have been notified. Due to the COVID situation and due to delays in communication as well, there has been slight delay in conducting all the meetings, but we have started the meetings. And our first meeting with Ahmedabad was very, very productive. There was very enthusiastic participation, especially because a lot of different stakeholders and representatives are included. We have been asked to include GST and customs, invite them from the next meeting onwards. So all these different stakeholders, basically the idea is that when you come to the meeting, you bring the issues of all the people you are representing and discuss those issues with the other agencies. That way, for example, if a Flex Council representative is there, they can say, we need infrastructure here, or this is an issue that is holding us up with this particular agency. Those can be taken up. So the meetings will happen once in every 3 months at least. It may happen more often depending on the requirements. So the big issues which have been held up for 3 months or more can be taken up. Otherwise, we are also trying to come up with a mechanism by which the issues can be taken up faster on a day-to-day basis. So I will discuss that as part of the district export plan. So the activities of the district export promotion committee are these. So we need to, first of all, get district level data. We need to create received. We need to create, monitor and implement specific parts of those action plans, and then conduct training programs so that we can communicate to the beneficiaries the way in which these programs will be implemented. So the these are the various activities that will be undertaken over the next 1 year or so. As you will see, the different steps come into place, and the benefits will start flowing from these. Now, what exactly will the district export plan contain? Now, first of all, we have sent out questionnaires. We've sent out questionnaires to Plex Council as well as its members. So some of you may have to those. If you have not, I urge you, please respond. The more accurate data and more accurate inputs we get, the easier it is for us to create plans which will act. So we have sent out questionnaires, answer those questionnaires, and based on that, we will get the relevant information and we will do an analysis of what the condition is currently and what can be done to solve specific problems that you have mentioned in. For example, some of the responses we received talked about poor net connectivity or flooding. So we are trying to take up those specific issues at the DEPC. Some of them may be solved by the district administration, for example. So that is the objective of these plans. So we will coordinate with all the other stakeholders. We will ensure that the different schemes that are there, so some schemes are being operated by DIC, some are being operated by us, some are being operated by the EPCs. We'll try to create a synergy so that you can get all your information in one place. You can get your resources and benefit as much as possible from them. In addition, we will, like Sir said, banking is also coming up. They have also started working with the EPCs. So the banks will also be invited to be part of this process. The difficult thing that when people come to DGFT for solving their issues, we generally see two kinds of problems. One is buyers, which we are often not able to help. So in terms of market access, in terms of buyer information, we have little role to play in that. So we are trying to create a system where that can be activated. The other is infrastructure. We cannot really put up cold storages, we cannot really put up roads. So we are trying to create a system where we can talk to people who can and tell them the exporters need this at this place. So let's see if we can make that happen within the next couple of months. Then the district export matrix will be created for each district. So we can keep a track of what are the targets that have been set for each sector, for each commodity in each district. And we can see the actual benefit that has come from these plans. And finally, we will conduct outreach programs. We already have a very robust outreach program in terms of Niryat Bandhu. Over the last 1 year, there have been so many meetings. The emphasis has increased, the participation has increased. So Niryat Bandhu will also be integrated into this. Now, the procedure for creation of the district export plan, as you have seen, we will send out questionnaires, and based on those questionnaires and the responses to those questionnaires, the district export plan will be created. Now, in addition, the recommendations that we have made as part of the plans is there will be a nodal agency by sector. So that nodal agency belonging will take care of the initiatives and implementation of that particular sector. Then we will also create a system for data collection, collation, and dissemination. Now, data, on the one hand, export data, that means district level export data, so that we can see what is happening and what we need to do. On the other hand, we will also create a database of all the current exporters, the potential exporters in terms of the manufacturers who are there, or people who have just taken an IEC, who are new exporters and need handholding. So this way we'll be able to create more targeted programs. Now, we are also planning to set up a website which will contain all the information pertaining to the initiative. So not just the details related to the product and of the district, but also it will contain a single window facilitation mechanism. So the way you have contact DGFT right now, where you can just put a complaint or put a reference and it gets taken up by whoever is responsible, the same way we'll try to create a single window facilitation so that if you put an issue there, if it pertains to customs, it can be sent to customs immediately. If it pertains to DGFT, it can be sent to us immediately. So we will act on it, and real time you'll be able to see what the response has been. We are also looking to create a sort of catalog of all exporters of so that they can put up details of their major products online. This way, the buyers will have a ready access to a list of exporters and to the products that they are exporting. We are also trying to see if this can be worked into sort of a wholesale e-commerce site, so that one of the issues of access, that is finding buyers, at least that is addressed to some extent. And we are also looking at infrastructure measures. Like I said, these will be proposed by the different members of the DEPC to the district administration, which can then take up the implementation. We will have institutional tie-ups because the idea of District Export Hub is not just to create a place where we give benefits, but it is also to enable you to compete in the international market in the coming years, so that you are developed or you are strengthened in a manner in which you can produce at a level which is competitive with the international producer. So we want to tie up with institutions of higher learning, as well as institutions which are doing research, and institutions which are taking care of marketing or branding, so that they can create a system whereby you can benefit from them. Now, brand development is very critical, especially if you take areas like Ahmedabad, which have some brand value which can be used, which can be exploited to create a recognition in the international market. So that is also being explored. Now we will create awareness about these programs through Niryat Bandhu, as well as through the various other handholding programs that are being conducted by the different organizations, so that over the next few months, you will be aware of exactly what is being implemented and how it can benefit you. Sir was saying that oftentimes the issues come up because exporters are not aware about what to submit, what documents to provide, because of which there are inordinate delays. So that issue can be tackled in the very beginning if through these awareness generation programs, people become aware of what are the procedures that need to be followed. Now, another issue is meeting international standards. We want to provide support and handholding for that as well. That will again increase the brand value. Now, finally, in keeping with Atmanirbhar Bharat, we want to ensure that where we do not have to import, such as machine, which can be created in India, which can be produced in India, we want to try to create a system where exporters can project their requirements for machinery. For example, they can say, this is the kind of capital good that I require. It is being produced at this level in this country, but we want to buy it from India. It is not available for us. So we want to create a system where that information can be shared, so that if the production can be done within the country, we will try to do it. Now, digitization has been happening over the last few years. You would have seen various departments have undertaken digitization. DGFT is also undergoing digitization at a massive level. So that will happen. Most of your requirements, most of your communications with government departments will become digital. Now, finally, the recommendation that we have made is that there needs to be a communication between the embassies and the consulates and the local level organizations, so that when you have any issues there, we can communicate through that, and you don't have to basically look around for people who can provide you access to markets. So that kind of communication, not just markets, in terms, if you have any issues, if you have payment issues, if you have clearance issues, somebody who can guide you through that. So we are trying to create a system where that can happen as well. So these are the major recommendations. Of DGFT will be to provide technical expertise in terms of export-import. We'll be one of the nodal agencies. We will provide the basic guidance. The role of district administration will be in terms of implementation, in terms of infrastructure, because infrastructure, again, as I said, it is not something we can do on our own. So they will act as the nodal agency. Then the role of DIC. DIC is the convener of the DEPC. So they will try to the database. They will set up the mechanism for the database, and they will act as link with local manufacturers who are not yet exporters. If you are an exporter or an importer, you are aware of DGFT, you can come to DGFT directly. But often people who are not exporters, they need guidance, and for that DIC will be our link agent. The role of the EPC. Now, the first major important role that EPCs have to play is to create participation in this program. We have, like I said, we have sent out questionnaires. We would like you to participate. We would like you to provide as many responses as possible. Provide suggestions, whether you think it's feasible or not. Please provide suggestions, because unless you provide them, we won't even have capacity to consider whether they can be implemented. Then suggesting various measures. EPCs already have a lot of systems in place. We want to expand those.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Those. Yes.
We cannot see your PPT. It is just discontinued. If you can
Okay.
reshare it.
Okay, you can see it now.
Right, we can see it now.
Yes, it is okay. Thank you.
So like I was saying, the role of the EPC. So we will create a mechanism through which guiding exporters for the first time. We are already doing this through Niryat Bandhu, but it will be created in a more systematized manner so that we don't have to wait for a random program. You can know that if on this day I come to this place, I can ask these questions and get my answers. And finally, the EPCs, of course, will be involved in creating branding, market access, and enabling the exporters to project themselves in a manner which will be accessible and useful to the importers. Now, role of the industry. The organizations exist for you to put forward your requests, suggestions. All this is being done so that requirements can be met. Now, often we get request कि इसका इतना percentage benefit बढ़ा दीजिए, इसका इतना percentage benefit बढ़ा दीजिए. What we are requesting you to do is consider कि over the next 5-10 years, what will seriously benefit us. So give infrastructure suggestions, give suggestions in terms of long-term programs. If you want training programs, hand-holding programs, anything sort, we are really interested in getting to hear what you have to say, what your suggestions are. And anytime you walk into this office with questions regarding anything, there will be someone to tell you, this is what you need to submit, this is what you don't need to submit, this, if you can do this, this is how it will benefit you. So please avail of these opportunities, because the district export plan, once it is made, we will evaluate it again and again based on the requirements, but it is better to give the suggestions in the beginning so that we can incorporate them now rather than saying at the end ki are ye bhi nahi dala. So it is easier for us if you can do it now. Now, there are other initiatives which have been taken up in recent times. So I'm sure most of you are aware of this. For example, the certificate of origin system that is going online, the different export policies that are being created across the states. Various help desks have been started. DGTR especially is undertaking initiatives so that MSMEs can take benefits. So all these initiatives have been started, and we hope that the benefits will reach you immediately and in the near future, and that if you have any issues, you do come to us with them so that we can consider those issues and incorporate them into our plans. I hope this was useful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Naman. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your presentation. We have so many suggestions, questions in the chat box. If you can take it one by one. Question from Ms. Bhumika Shah from Agropec Private Limited. She's saying we have an idea of manufacturing, which we are highly import from China, but we don't know how to move and further path. Can you throw light? Can you give some suggestions on this?
So they are importing raw materials or machinery. What are they importing from China?
They have expertise in manufacturing. Which particular product we import from China, but as of now, yeah. So what can be further suggested in this regard?
If you have expertise in manufacturing something that we are currently importing, then that is great, because then we will be able to do it locally. Suggestions are, if you are looking to export these products, then you can avail of the different benefits that come from DGFT. When you're setting up your plant, if you want to import any capital goods which are required for manufacturing, you can do that from here. Is someone saying something?
I'm sorry. Hello,
Yes.
Mrs. Naidu. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. But we have a plan to manufacturing something. Right now, we are not importing these things, but we know that this thing is highly potential in India, and people are importing these things. And but how we move forward it, we don't know. How to manufacture this product, we know, but how to
How to
in the
market
practical
it and
way,
how to,
we don't
yes.
know. That we don't know.
Right. So, since you have the manufacturing capacity, you have the manufacturing ability, your biggest support in this will be your EPC. Whoever your export promotion council is, they will be the best person to guide you in terms of how to create your brand. Going offhand, I can just say the first thing to create your website, access buyers, find out who the buyer of this kind of products is. So that is going to be your first step. And I would definitely suggest talking to your EPC. They will be able to provide you the best solutions on this.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. We have a suggestion from Mr. Hemant Padalia, is the president of Vadodara Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He is saying there is a communication gap between manufacturers, authorities, association, and for that we need an effort. So one suggestion is that. He is also saying important export list must be available to all if we want to promote vocal to local, made in India, made by India. He's also suggesting we can have an infrastructure modification to stand against the Chinese competition.
Could you please elaborate on the infrastructure modification?
Sir, Mr. Hemant sir, if you can unmute and speak about it. Hemant sir, if you are there and want to elaborate on this.
Hello.
Okay, we'll come back to him again.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Hello, Naman.
Yes, sir.
I think all the toolbar question and suggestions we can later on can send to the DGFT office, and later on the concerned person who has asked the question will get the reply from them. Instant reply now.
Okay.
Just again at this, what the issues being raised by Hemant as such, we'll take a note of that because we are also in the process of formulating, the plan at this stage as such. And certainly there may be, some gaps here and there will be there something. That is the whole reason when the district export, plan committee meets, because that's all the members of a committee of a district comes over there, the issues come. That is the reason we have associated boards, chambers, association also. So wherever these meetings are conducted, we call them also to understand the members' aspiration, the expectations as such. And so kindly note down the whole minutes, you can pass on to us. And I like to, interact accordingly with the association and try to, put in those, facts while making the district export plan.
Okay.
Is there any question if they want to pick up now? It will be great.
So we have also one suggestion from Mr. Dr. Pradeep Upadhyay. He's suggesting CPET Ahmedabad is certified third-party inspection body as per ISO IEC 17020. Being a government institution, CPET is not part of a district export committee.
Okay.
That's a good suggestion. We will definitely take that into consideration. If you have suggestions for members for DEPC as well, we would welcome the suggestions. We want the participation to be as wide as possible.
Okay. One question: if the quarterly meeting held with top exporters by additional DGFT to understand problem of exports and what help can be done by DGFT?
I just repeat what question you had.
Sir, quarterly, actually, sir, the few exporters wish that the DGFT office call them quarterly once in a quarter and they sit with you to explain their problems and suggestions and all. So, due to COVID, now it is not possible, but after that, if suppose DGFT office call them, all few exporters quarterly once for some 1 or 2 hours just to discuss how to increase the exports, what problems with the DGFT they are facing, what the solution, if it is possible.
No. So just to brief you, you may be aware prior to the COVID times, generally monthly, the meetings we have are new entrepreneurs as such on a regular basis. But the post-COVID and post-COVID time, we have basically suspended those meetings. But now we're trying to start with the virtual meeting to look forward to how best we go ahead to the virtual meeting with the new entrepreneurs as such. But I make a suggestion rather to the council and the association, if they have the members as such, who maybe have a technical expertise or the capacity building program with regard to the taxation or the trade bodies or the international trade policy. So that can be arranged on the virtual platform, because physical meetings still like to avoid for some more time, keeping in mind the guidelines.
In addition, sir, if exporters have any issues that they want to discuss, we always welcome mails, because that gives us a more detailed explanation of what the problem is. It gives us a record. It is something we can go back to and see and move to the correct place. So we would request you, if you have any issues that are pressing or any issues for the long term as well, do mail us.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Ma'am, as a council, we also face some difficulty in getting data for the exports of district. So in that context, how it can be possible to compile a data district wise? Because one of the participant has asked the question that how should merchant exporter write the district details of product in shipping bill? Merchant exporter buy from so many district and then ship the one container. So in such case, how can we help?
So now the shipping bills will include district data, that we are hoping that we can get district data. But this issue is there. When you collect, even if you're not a merchant exporter, even if you're manufacturing and you have inputs from many different districts, so how will you define it as going from one district or the other? So that is an issue that we are discussing. We are trying to come up with some sort of mechanism by which we can identify maybe the place where most significant percentage is manufactured, or for a merchant exporter, wherever you're located, wherever your main office is, generally you put that as the district. So these are ad hoc mechanisms, but at least we'll have some data. Right now we have nothing. So it would be fine if we'll get some data out of this.
एक्चुअली मैत्री, हेलो, नमन जी।
हाँ जी सर।
हाँ जी।
मैं रोहित बोल रहा हूँ। तो एक्चुअली अभी जो भी आपको डाटा चाहिए उसका जो भी फॉर्मेट है, हम लोगों ने जो DEPC की मीटिंग यहाँ अहमदाबाद में हुई थी, तो उसमें ये बात डिस्कस की थी। तो उसमें यही है कि आपको जो भी जिस भी फॉर्मेट का डाटा चाहिए, जब DEPC का मीटिंग होगा उसमें आप रखिए, क्योंकि उसमें तमाम इंडस्ट्री के भी मेंबर्स रहते हैं और एसोसिएशंस भी रहती हैं। तो DIC क्या करेगा कि एक फॉर्मेट बनाएगा उसका, कि जिस फॉर्मेट में आपको डाटा चाहिए ऐसा डाटा बनेगा कि जो सबके लिए यूजफुल रहेगा।
ओके,
तो हम लोग ये मैटर जो है वो DEPC में डिस्कस करेंगे।
ओके, वेल टेकन सर। One question is there from Mr. Vishal Mundra. Madam, how can we be more competitive with countries with subsidy duty in Europe and USA? Like earlier we had a benefit of 4% on FIBC, but now with new policy it is 0% under ROS CTL.
So the problem of price competitiveness with subsidy, that will be there. The solution I cannot present to you as a immediate solution. ऐसे हो जाएगा. I can only say we can try to increase our competitiveness in other areas through increasing efficiency of production. In addition, if subsidy is truly affecting, the trade remedies portion will have a strong place. So I would suggest, if you are impacted by subsidies being given in other countries, then approach DGTR. Try to get trade remedies in place so that some of it at least can be avoided.
Okay.
I think, Naman, we have Shyam Grewal sir. He wanted to speak something. Shyam sir.
Sir, actually, about MEIS discontinuation, somebody asked us, Mr. Anil Garg is asking about MEIS discontinuation, and we don't have any information about it. Is there, something can be,
Rivalji, so you must have been seeing the minister's statement also in the newspaper, and the ministry has already taken up this matter with the as minister as such. So since this has been taken at the highest level, so we have nothing much to say on that.
Yeah.
We have to wait.
okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir.
COVID time, this COVID time, sir, manpower shortage is there in the industry. About your DGFT also, are you facing the manpower problem, sir?
No, by the way, you should be aware, the DGFT organization is not, basically been hugely, the huge manpower as such. So we have been working with the 100% manpower only in the initial stage for some weeks. We have a very skeleton strength as such. So we don't face much of an issue, but you are right, because since we are interacting with the industry, some of the industries were really facing the labor crunch. And but in Gujarat, most of the industry did manage with the labor, because during that time they could manage the labor, providing the shelter, the house, then food and all, and they could manage. So so you will be telling better. So we don't have much of a problem in Gujarat as regards. I'm not talking about the Surat side, but this side, Ankleshwar, Dahej, Ahmedabad, these sides, we don't have much of an issue.
Yes, sir.
Right, sir. We have with us Mr. Sailesh Patel as well. We have with us Mr. Sailesh Patel, President, Gujarat State Plastic Manufacturing Association. Sir, you wanted to say something, please.
Sailesh bhai, unmute karo.
Mohan, thank you very much for organizing this webinar. Flex Council has put a lot of efforts to arrange this webinar. Actually, see, there are some issues faced by exporters also, like MEIS, what Chaudhary Saab said, it has been taken with the ministries. Let us hope, because earlier in the month of April only, government has announced that MEIS will be continued till December 2020. But unfortunately, with back effect 2 days, 1 week back, they have announced that it will be, they have stopped accepting any applications from the 1st of April. So the exporters who have considered their orders and received orders were considering the MEIS as a benefit. Now they will not get it, then it will be difficult for the exporters to continue, get orders and everything. So it is humble request to Flex Council and DGFT to put this forward to the ministry that as they have declared till December 2020, let this continue till December, so that exporters can get benefit out of it and can, in this pandemic situations, they can survive, otherwise it will be difficult. Same way, as rightly pointed out by somebody from Baroda Chamber, that frequent district meetings should be organized so that any difficulties faced by the exporters, it can be resolved. As such, DGFT is very cooperative to the exporters, as we are in the export market and we know how cooperative DGFT is. But see, for the regular exporter, it is beneficial. But for the people who are entering first time in the export, if frequent meeting can be organized, they can be guided well, and the export can boost it like anything. So these are my suggestions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your suggestions. We can take, I think with the shortage of time, we can take any 2-3 more questions. Sir, one more question we had received from our members. Can you explain more about export ranking index of different districts and how it will work? If you have any more detail about the...
NITI Aayog and states, we have seen that it creates a sort of competitive, whether it is ease of doing business or the level of state of health, public health. So a similar mechanism so that the different district administrations will take it up more actively. So, we don't have the modalities all worked out in terms of how the ranking will be done, but the objective is this.
Okay. So one more question is there from Plex Council side. Is there any mechanism where we can include industries in the SEZ into this district export plan? How they are included in district export plan?
SEZ has basically been formed in a different act altogether. This is a foreign territory. This is a foreign territory as such. So in the plan, till that time we have not thought on that line. What you're suggesting as such is good that you have alerted us. We'll start looking into that fact also, because it happens when the product comes from the SEZ to the DTA area. That is treated as an import. So it's basically the foreign territory and the customs separate territory for all practical purposes. So our district export plan doesn't talk about, but the SEZ largely is the export hub. I mean, the entire product from the SEZ has to be exported out. That's the entire the spirit behind that. So it has a separate plan altogether. So that can constitute is a zonal zones program as such, and that has been worked out on a regular basis. But that suggestion, I think we look forward how best to incorporate it as required.
Okay. Yes, sir. Shyam sir, you wanted to say something.
We are very much thankful to our additional DGFT sir, Chaudhary sir, and their team. Now I think the time is also getting over. So you please go ahead.
Okay. So due to positivity of time, we won't be able to take more questions. We can see there are questions for Plex Council as well. We'll contact each of the participant, those who have questions, and we'll connect with them and try to resolve them as well as soon as possible. From the Plex Council side, on behalf of entire team of Plex Council, we thank all participants for being with us today. Council is in the process of organizing few more webinars in the month of August. We already have proposed a webinar on opportunities for plastics export in current time, which is scheduled on 20th August. We are also organizing one webinar on importance of trademark in international trade, which we are proposing on 27th of August. We'll soon send circular to our members on this. You can also, all the participants can also like and subscribe or share the social media links of Plex Council. You can also go through our magazine Plex Connect, which is a monthly magazine of the council, and it is very informative, which includes data, export inquiries, as well as there are news and updates about the industry. We acknowledge the presence of all the eminent office bearers of various trade associations. We acknowledge the presence of CPET as well, CPET, GSPMA, South Gujarat Plastic Manufacturing Association, Vadodara Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Saurashtra Plastic Manufacturing Association. And a big thank you to our speakers, Mr. Shri A.K. Chaudhary, Additional DGFT Ahmedabad, for sharing his valuable time and addressing our industry participants. We also thank Mr. Rohit Soni, Joint DGFT Ahmedabad office, Ms. Maitri Naidu, Assistant DGFT from Ahmedabad office, for sharing their valuable inputs on district export plan. And Plex Council is ready to support in all the endeavors in all possible ways to convert this plan into the action. Thank you everyone for being part of this webinar, and hope to see you soon again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chaudhary sir. Thank you, DGFT, for giving us so much of insight about this new scheme. I'm very hopeful that the manufacturing community will be able to benefit out of this, and exports from India will definitely increase. And at district level, if we start monitoring what is produced, how it can be exported, it will definitely bring in a sea change in the export scenario. And definitely, whatever questions are there, we will compile and send it to you. And thank you very much once again, Chaudhary sir. Thank you.